Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest, ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1's Rust player in the south of Team 1's lineup, we have Fur going first land as a UEF. He is a 1700. To his northeast in Snow White, we have the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall player of Yoji, going first land as a Cybran in Snow White. To his north, we have in Imperial Gray OGWPR Outrage, going first land as a Cybran as well. He is a 1400. To his southwest in Stitch Blue, we have Yzma 98 going first land as an Aeon. He is a 1200, and again in Stitch Blue. And last but not least, for Team 1 in the northwestern corner of the map in the Rigard Ursulite here for Team 1, it is all white people going first land as a Cybran in Batman Gray. Don't know why he's not white, which would make things a lot easier for naming convention, but I'll probably just call him all for short. And for Team 1 side of the map, overall they have 3 Cybrans, 1 UEF, and 1 Aeon, which means Team 1 lacks Seraphim technology. Starting up with Team 2's Rigard Ursulite player, moving our way counterclockwise around the map on their lineup, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue Zelby like Cobb going first land as a UEF as a 1600. To his west in Glow in the Dark Green, we have another UEF for Team 2. It is Pepe's going first land in Glow in the Dark Green as a 1300. In Chevy Crimson to his north, we have the one and only Seraphim player of the game. It is Chicken. He is tied for the highest rated player on his team. And again, he's going first land as a Seraphim. To his northeast, the player with which he is tied with for highest rated on his team is MSG, going first land as a Cybran in Ruby Red. And again, at 1800 rating. And last but not least, here for Team 2 in Pac-Man Yellow, near the edge of the map, we have Maverick going first land as a UEF. He is a 1200 with a very interesting lineup of Pigeons and T1 E-Storages. And for Team 2 side of the map, they have 3 UEF, 1 Seraphim, and 1 Cybran, which means Team 2 lacks Aeon technology. And for 10 players overall, let's take a look at the reclaim. They have 2 scoop up, starting off with 33,000 mass in reclaim, which means per player it's about a little over 3.3k mass. And in terms of mass, for mass points, honestly, there's almost nothing for 10 players. For Team 2 side of the map, we'll cut it down the middle just like this. If you can watch my cursor or the little yellow line, there's a Trimex position down here, a Dual Mex, another Trimex, and I mean, I can call this a Trimex right here because some are grouped together. You can even actually be better to call this a Trimex, but it's kind of a discrepancy in elevation there. And a couple of one-off mexes, that's it. There is hardly any mass points, which means upgrading to T3 tech is going to take a lot slower, a lot more time, because there's not as many just mexes you can just expand out very quickly, scale up, and then call it a day. Everybody's going to be fighting over every single mass point. Everyone makes a difference. Each player starts off with 5 in their main base, which is a little bit better than the 4 or 3 that we sometimes see. But only having 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, let's say 17, 18, 19 mexes on each side of the map is not a lot of mexes for 5 players. That's roughly 4 extra mexes for a total of 9 if it's all divided evenly, which it never is, and you never hold all of them in terms of one side of the map or the other. There's always invasions, there's always snipes, there's always explosions or whatever else happens around them to cause them to be taken offline. And with that out of the way, I think I'm actually going to just go the other direction and speed this game up a little bit, because with not a lot of expansionary efforts, we are seeing and things to go after, not necessarily efforts. We do see that there is a decent amount of movement here from both teams. Team 1 sending 2 players to the east, that being both Yoji and OGW. Of course, there is a decent amount of reclaim in the middle of the map along that line that I drew earlier on. So our players are trying to expand out for that. That's really going to be the early fuel to really get those T2 mexes, get those facilities, get the upgrades going as quickly as they can. Engineers outbound from all to the south, trying to, again, aggressively get all of the reclaim he can. And similarly, Pepe is doing the exact same thing on this western side, Gonna drop engineers a little bit short, and then gonna move in with a couple of his T1 labs to go after a couple of engineers. So he has kind of a ghetto gunship situation going on here. We'll take out a couple of engineers with that, slowing down the expansionary and reclaim efforts of all. We do see that FAF is actually pushing in quite, not necessarily deep in a Team 2's territory, but just enough to be a little bit worrisome. We do see a nice little snoop out loud over here, outbound to the western side. We'll get bombed out of obscurity over there. And in the east, we have com-on-com action here between the Ruby Red player of MSG and Outreach here going after this set of reclaim. It is Cybran v. Cybran. MSG has lost 1,500 hit points, and Outreach is just going to start blitzing him down. A couple of units also assisting here for Yoji means Team 1 will be in the, I don't even know how to say it. Well, how do you say that? What's the opposite of on the back foot? On the front foot? I guess what you would say with that. I don't really know the inverse of that phrase anyway. But OGW is going to hold position here and trying to, again, establish himself in this reclaim field. A couple of units also outbound for MSU will turn the tide once again, essentially making this a net 0 for both of those players. We do see that Maverick is moving in from the south, pushing in to assist, as well as Yoji. They kind of sense blood in the water over here, so both teams wanting to get some sort of advantage in that realm. We do see that units and the comm of Chicken moving westward to isolate FAF's commander. FAF doesn't care. He's going for reclaim. 3 says all. I don't know when he's talking about in reference to that. That could have been a misclick or something and probably hit enter and typed make unit, says FAF. Talking to Yzma. Yzma, we haven't seen much out of them. Looks like he just went for the western edge and now is making his way southward. It's possibly going to be a 2v2 in the middle. And FAF's commander is being surrounded by Team 1 units and the comm of Chicken. And this might be the first death in the game here at 6.5 minutes. FAF is dropping into the yellow, sub 50% of his hit points. And Yzma is nearby. He needs to come in and help FAF. FAF is going to make it out of dodge just barely. Chicken probably could have come and just killed off FAF, but it looks like he's going to let him fall back. Definitely didn't want like a murder-suicide happening here in the southwestern section probably, which I don't blame Chicken because I don't want to die either in any game. So unless you're really going to go after like securing, 2 kills or going after like a really big advantage of I'm going to just telemazer in, kill off the air grid, kill off the artillery, kill off the whatever, and die, that's a little different. But going for a comm v comm essentially just hands a base over to somebody else. T1 PD will hold position for FAF and Yzma coming in to assist as well. Mave any unit, says MSG or air. And he does have T2 land online or something. He has T2 land, so he skipped the Team 1 phase. Going for T2, it will give the initial advantage to Team 1, but he will have the advantage in firepower now. With Maverick being chased down by Yoji's commander, we do see gun speed and ranges being built at the same time. MSG will finish his first with the assistance of those pseudo engineers from those Mantis. But we do see that Outreach is at close to 80%, so that will not be denied. And his units are now collecting and securing the northeastern corner of the map. In the southwestern corner of the map, we see FAF going for his gun damage and range upgrade. Yzma holding position. Gun damage and range started for Pepe's. Both players trying to be as aggressive as they can. They need that, they need that mass. They need that reclaim. They need any advantage they can get, even if it's 1 or 2 mexes. That could make the difference. Then again, large no man's land territory in the middle isn't really going to make anything really worth it to go after besides all the reclaim that was there. That's now no longer there. And essentially most of the action is just going to happen on the eastern and western flanks here. Nano repair has been started on board for FAF's commander. Yzma trying to push in, but it's now 2 comms. One of them has gun, one of them does not. This could be the first departure of the game. Nano repair is almost done on FAF's commander, and body blocking units from FAF don't help Yzma's escape as well. This is going to be the first possible kill of the game. Both those commanders, are they going to push in, let Yzma escape or not? Pepe's is now out of range. Yzma is in the red, sub 1500, gets overtrenched to the face. FAF moving in with that gun, and Nano commander will try to force back Team 2. Yzma barely makes it out with 1,000 hit points to his name. In the east, gun speed and range has been started for Yoji, and it looks like Team 2's MSG has been pushed back / fallen back due to OGW's gun comm, as well as him coming in and isolating the northeastern corner of the map. T2 units forcing back Yoji's commander will force him to cancel that upgrade, and Pearler's chasing him down. There are one PD emplacements nearby. And in the southwest, for body blocking here for his teammate of Yzma. Both of these comms are in the red. If one of them dies, they both die. That very dangerous. He needs to fall back even further. If he builds here, his AoE would probably still kill off Fervor. He's like, I'm getting out of range. See ya, bye. T1 PD trying to force back Team 2's Pepe's and Chicken. Chicken gonna continue to just fall back at least for a little bit. Pepe's trying to poke at Team 1's defenses. Will kill off a PD. Open a door for maybe and a kill on Fervor's commander. He's back up to 2,800 hit points, so no double kill situation. At least easy double kill on that southwestern side. Was very, very close to dying there, both those commanders, but they made it out. They've been getting by the skin of their teeth, but their luck's going to run out at some point. Lots of gun upgrades has been started for both Yoji and Yzma. We do see gun damage range has been started for Maverick. He's forcing back the supply lines and reinforcements outbound for Yoji, and essentially just forcing him back entirely with that focus on T2 tech, which has proved dividends here. Team 2 has been pushed back, but this huge outcropping of momentum here for Team 2 might be enough to shake things up. Team 1 and Team 2 in terms of mass incomes were exactly the same, but Reclaim, of course, making it difficult to have an accurate example of accurate representation. But Fervor coming in with the speed upgrade and range also on board that commander. It's 2v1. Fervor thought he had the advantage. Pepe's got a rank and veterancy, and Fervor will be the first killed of this game. There he goes. Team 2's Pepe's is in the red, sub 2,300. He does only have gun, but he's almost at 3-star veterancy as well. And he says so bad. Says Fervor talking about Yzma performance most likely. You're talking about his bringing his mechs, as it looks like. I don't know. I can't say one way or the other, but Yzma does have advanced range and speed on board, so that will help maybe slow down Team 2, and he will inherit everything that his teammate of Fervor had. That was transferred over probably from the OG. So he's now on dual bases. He's back in the yellow, but has to be cautious. Pepe's is in the red as well, but again, he's sitting at 3,300. Yzma's sitting at less than 3,000, and Chicken at 9,6. So a total of 9,000 hit points between the two commanders. So he has to be very careful of how far he pushes in. But Yoji is killed off by Maverick's commander, and it's now a 3v5 in favor of Team 2. Looks like Maverick just walked him down. We saw Yoji retreating, but looks like Maverick just caught him out unawares and came with his commander and called it a day. We see some pillars also in the mix as well, so it looks like he kind of just got blitzed down here. And now, with Team 2 was on the back foot in the northeast, and a little bit, it was pretty much tied on the southwest. It is now in favor of Team 2 on both avenues, but Team 1's Calm of All's gunship snipes Pepe's. We see some gunships also outbound here from Yzma. Going to go after possibly a double kill here for Team 1. Oh, a couple of those flat cannons kill. Oh, will it be enough? A couple more shots. Chicken, less than 100 hit points remaining. And all the momentum has now shifted to Team 1 on the southwestern side. Chicken is almost defeated, 200 hit points on board. Outreach trying to force back MSG. MSG surrounded a little bit. You see him dropping below 50% of his hit points. Mantis trying to body block him, keep MSG in the range of Outreach's commander. It's gun and stealth versus gun and nano and stealth, but MSG is going to go down. Don't know where that overcharge was going, and there he goes. 1,000 hit points remaining. Outreach is going to get the kill for his commander. Not going to go for the kill. Oh, nope, he's distracted. Okay, there he goes. And there's the kill here for Team 1's Outrage. Drops this game now to an even 3v3. We have that Whalo gunship outbound here from Team 1's Airplay of All going after Maverick's commander. Not a lot of AA in the area. Second gunship will be added to this, and Maverick is... I'm gonna slow this down. We're only at 15 minutes here. Maverick is... might he be safe? There's some ASF coming in to save him, but man, that was very close here for Team 2. Team 2 almost just steamrolled on the western and eastern side, but Team 1 came back, got a kill. And Chicken is killed off by bombers outbound from Yzma. He's like, I want that kill, and he went for it, and now it's a 3v2 in favor of Team 1. So it went from Team 2 having the advantage to Team 1 having the advantage in about 2 or 3 minutes, and it's only 15 minutes in, and this game goes to about 50 minutes, so we have a while till everything happens. Tactical pause says all Don't really know. Looks like Zelby paused. 300 rated, says Zelby. There's a lot of conversation about people's skill level on both teams. But going for that kill here from Yzma, great play. He killed off another player. That does hand over 2 bases to somebody else, but it does kill. Now it becomes essentially an assassination game. We see a decent amount of Ilshis moving in. Yzma is in the yellow. Has to be very cautious of how far he pushes forward. He has a lot of support nearby, but those Ilshis could easily just steamroll him and kill him if he's not too careful. And looks like Zelby's playing more of a defensive play now. All of the highest rated players in the game have been killed off. Yoji 2000 rated and Fervor 1700. Both of the 1800s here for Team 2. We're looking at a match between a 15, a 14, a 12 versus a 16 and a 1200. Not that ranking means everything, but just the players that you would expect to be quote-unquote ahead in the game are all dead. So it's kind of flipped the game on its head kind of thing. And these units now cutting off any sort of momentum here for Team 2's Maverick. He's falling back. He's trying to protect himself a little bit more. Has some parashields nearby. Getting a shield on board. Getting T2. Has gun. More AA. He was almost sniped out of the air. From the air. So he's being a little bit more cautious. And now both teams, again, going to be very cautious with their commanders, I would assume. Yzma is not. But OGW is still holding position behind this little cliff edge just in case some bombers come in and try to say hi. We do see the comm of Team 1's all white people has not left his main base, holding this position quite well. He's the only one that doesn't have an additional base. I feel like that's not the best thing. Team 2's air player having 3 bases means he can really accelerate his expansion in air power quite quickly, which will in turn give Team 2 the advantage just due to the fact he can outproduce Team 1. We could see somebody else go for air. T2 is online, as we see for Yzma. Looks like he might be going for some sort of grid here pretty shortly in that department. Shield coming online. He was almost done with that. Maybe he'll go for shield heavy as well. No, not as of right now. We do see that he is forcing his way forward, forcing Team 2 into this little choke point, which actually would be more beneficial for Team 2 because Team 1's going to walk right into it as well. PD could easily be placed here. Artillery back here. Missile launchers over here or something could be easily just, shoved everything into one little, I know I drew a circle, but a square kill box. In the northern side of things, Maverick pushing forward has shield, gun, and T2 versus mainly just Team 1s, but a decent amount of T2 are now intermixing into that land force. And I wouldn't be surprised to see T3 Tech outbound from somebody on Team 2. Nope, there's Maverick going for T3 Tech as we speak. Nice little, I think that was a Wagner. It could have been a Rhino, but that's got blitzed down by Team 2's forces. There's also Wagner's in the mix here for Maverick. Maverick in the mix of a bunch of Team 1 and T2 units. Not being focused down, though, because the main threat is the rest of those units from Maverick. More and more units coming in and trying to establish, again, a frontline position in the middle. Radar system online will give Team 1 a decent view of the map in its entirety. At least, the northern section at a minimum. You see that those forces here for Yzma continue to engage and push back Team 2. Mexes are being taken offline. PD have been built. Ilshi's coming in, just steamroll the rest of these forces that are a good mix of Aeon and UEF. But those Seraphim, just how fast they fire is just devastating. And there they go. All that mass now on Team 2 side of the map, sitting at 8,000. Decent amount of mass to grab from that attack. Not a lot of units were killed off. Mexes were taken offline, though. That's 27 mass a second. That was been lost per second. That does make a difference, especially with how many limited Mexes both teams have. We have gunships trying to assassinate Maverick once again. There's a decent amount more AA and ASFs are nearby, so that snipe doesn't really go anywhere. It takes half the shield off. So he's probably thinking to himself, good thing I built the shield. He is sitting at 4-star veterancy, almost 20,000 hit points on board that commander. So he's trying to, again, be very aggressive with that commander. But he is retreating. He's tactically retreating. He's like, I don't like my position. I'm going to fall back. I have some PD back here. I'm going to cede the territory to Team 1. I'm attacking on this eastern side to try to distract him a little bit. He's going to build probably a nice fire base over here. I probably would build it, try to build it on this upper plateau right here just to get a better, position tactically wise in terms of, being on the upper plateau instead of on the lower section of the map. The game has quieted down quite significantly, so let's take a look at the game overall. Team 1 sitting at 450 mass income. Team 2 sitting at 420, 430, so a little bit more mass income for Team 1. But as a reminder, Team 2's air player of Zelby has 3 bases, while Team 1's air player only has 1. So air power will definitely favor Team 2 as the game goes on. But currently Team 1 is airlocking Team 2. So any ASF built are kind of just nullified. AA is going to be built to deter that. But again, it delays the time in which Team 2 can outproduce Team 1. Team 1 has a little bit over 50% of the map underneath their control. Team 2 is starting to kick back at that with raids going down in the northeast and large land army with the calm in the middle for Team 2's Maverick. Team 2 has 2 players remaining with Chicken, MSG, and Pepe's being killed off. And Yoji and Fervor are dead for Team 1, so it's a 3v2 advantage. And we're just going to have to see which team wins the game. I thought Team 2 would have an advantage for a while, then 3 comms were sniped, and now Team 1 has an advantage in that department, so everything's just kind of up in the air. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win. Of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching. Let's take a look at this land battle that's happening as I speak. Maverick, again, keeping himself on the front lines. It is a risky play, but he is getting some T3 unit support as well as getting that heavy shield and 5-star veterancy. That is 40,000 hit points in total on board that commander. We do see the laser has been started for OGW. He could go for a cloaking play, and Gunship is online as well here for Team 1's air player, trying to go after Maverick's commander. A lot of AA has been built, both mobile and stationary. That Gunship will eventually be taken out, especially with that flat cannon right next door to the calm of Maverick. Maverick trying to overcharge any kills that he gets. Doesn't really increase his hit point count. It'll just increase how much mass he's killed off. And air, says Maverick. Team 1's air is trying to isolate any sort of attempt for Team 2 to come in. AA being spammed up as quickly as it can be for Maverick. We see some artillery coming online here for him, very interestingly. And the Gunship's still holding position. Maverick will be forced to fall back. He does have his main hit points still perfectly fine for the most part. And shield repping up 30 hit points a second. So he's lost 19,000. Actually, I think he lost as many hit points as his calm, his whole hit points. So he would have died had he not had the shield on board. But he's now being attacked with some missiles from the north. Titans moving in to assist with dealing with that attack. Laser now 30% here for OGW's commander. Shield heavy has been started for Yzma's commander. ASF fight happens once again. It's on Team 2 side of the map. Decent amount of AA nearby. It's only T1, but it's a lot of T1, so it does make a difference. And it will force back Team 1's air. Team 2 is tired. I'm assuming Zelby's tired of being airlocked. And Maverick getting a little bit annoyed that there's no air nearby. I mean, he's been having an engagement over here. Team 1 bombers over the top, killing off a couple of PD. Their tickle cannons are not really that great. And we do see that the ASF are moving in. And Team 2's Maverick pushing in against Team 1's OGW. The scout will see the comm on an upgrade, but he doesn't know what upgrade. He could be upgrading to nano. He could be upgrading to cloaking. He could be upgrading to teleporter. I highly doubt it, but could be. And those Titans are pushing in. Going to get a lot of raiding here on the northern side of the map. Just reduce Team 1's income a little bit. Team 2 sitting at 550. Team 1 dropping to 500. That's probably power related due to the laser upgrade going down. Possibly. No, power's fine. There's a little bit of issues for Yzma, probably going for the shield upgrade. And those Titans have done a great job killing off the mechs, killing off some staging facilities, going to go after whatever they can. A couple of T2 mechs up here. And looks like more efforts to secure the north sector. All of these units are going to fall back to try to intercept these units. They're not really going to catch up. The gunships and the bombers are really going to be the only 2 things that will deal with this. Titans are going to rip apart a couple of T2 mechs. That's 1, 2... Mechs is down. That's 18 mass a second. It makes a difference. TMD, says MSG. Thinking about just in case those missile launchers come back. Maverick pushing back once again in the middle. Laser has been... Oh, it's still going. I don't like that the text disappears for me. But it just happens, I guess. Yzma has that heavy... Actually, canceled the heavy... Nope, still going for it. See, I don't like that. And units actually bypass the units for Yzma. We do see some ASFs moving in to secure the skies above them, but there's no offensive units nearby. There's 1 Percy, which is not going to stop, and a couple of Othams and a Ilshi. And nano repair has been started for OGW. He is going for cloaking. He might be going after assassinating Maverick's commander. I don't think he has Omni anywhere. No one has Omni on Team 2 side of the map, so well, nope, there's one back here for Zelby. But the range is not enough to cover the middle of the map, so that might be a snipe attempt for Team 1 if he's able to get to cloaking and go after him. Percy's move in, and with the rest of them built, a couple of facilities taken offline for you don't really need them anymore. And the Percys are just enough with some Ravagers built for defensive measures. Maverick is just cleansing the middle of the map. The only downside, of course, is there's really nothing in the middle of the map to secure besides Mechs on the southern and northern sides. T2 radar is online, giving Maverick a decent view, or at least decent intel gathering operations for the northern side of the map. Though stealth won't really be that useful for fighting the comm, though. OGW has kind of been on stealth for a while now, but we'll have to get visual confirmation. Looks like Maverick might be walking pretty close to where that commander is going, or is, I should say, but I don't know. If OGW, he goes for cloaking, if he's able to build it quite quickly and go after Maverick, it'll drop this game to a 3v1, so that might be something that Maverick, I mean, obviously he doesn't know that's happening, but definitely something to be watched out for, at least speaking to myself, so I remember that that is happening. We do see that the Titans are pushing forward. We could see the cloaking be denied. The cloaking does get canceled. OGW goes, it's not worth it. If he was probably 80%, he might go for it, but he has to move out of dodge as fast as he can. He's sitting at 2-star veterancy. He has laser and gun. Laser will be exposed, so Maverick will know that. And that laser is just going to be enough to just go after Maverick's commander. He's like, oh yeah, he's right there. That'll work. Don't need cloaking. And Maverick is not feeling good. OGW needs to keep moving. I know he doesn't want to get AoE'd by the the explosion from Maverick's commander, but bricks come in, rhinos as well. Maverick is going to be surrounded here, and that's probably the better play, so he doesn't take hit point damage from that explosion. Maverick, his shield is regenning. He's sitting at 9,000 hit points remaining. Those bricks killing everything off, and there goes Maverick's commander. There he goes, kills off almost everything nearby as well. That's not nice, says OGW. And Maverick walked right into a laser and died because of it. The laser was the only thing that saved him from the initial kill. And OGW will get a rank in veterancy and sitting at 100 hit points a second. And it is now a 3v1, 27 minutes remaining. Not remaining, that have passed in this game for Team 2 to be only at 1 player remaining. Team 1 has 3 players remaining. Maverick very annoyed that his comm died. I mean, he pushed far forward. There's no way he could have known that Outreach was going for the laser. And had he not, he would have been fine. But there was a lot of units inbound as well. So that radar definitely picked them up. Oh yeah, he saw them from essentially a mile away. Possibly more than that. Probably, actually, how big is this map? 13 by 13, probably a couple hundred kilometers, possibly. He's just very annoyed what's going on. He's just constantly flaming. I mean, I get it. You're upset. You're annoyed, but there's only so much you and your teammates can do. If you just get outplayed, you get outplayed. It happens. So, just a PSA. And frustrations are warranted, of course. Frustrated at whatever the case may be. But name calling definitely is not productive at all, and I do not condone that at all. PDs versus Mazer. So Zelby saying, hey, no, sorry, MSG saying, hey, Zelby, you should go for some PD just to protect yourself. Because essentially at this point, yes, he's correct. OGW could transition to teleporter, teleport in, kill Zelby, and win the game. And triads are being built to counter that. Find and kill comms says MSG. On Team 2, he's like, you got to get rid of that threat. There is another Cybran for Team 1 in all white people, but he's been sitting in his main base, hasn't really moved a whole lot, just building up his air grid. And Team 1 is pretty much the driver's seat of this game, sitting at almost 200 more mass income. We see 670 versus 850. You died again? You let me too long, 1v2. A lot of conversations in chat. Jeez. Between MSG and Maverick. Now, where did you get 1,800 plus as Maverick? I mean, he played the game. He won matches. I killed 2,000 plus. I mean, just because you kill a 2,000 rated player does not mean that you instantly become an 1,800 or 2,000 rated player. It could just be that the 2,000 rated player made a bad call and died because of it. You know? Rating is not everything. Some of it shows like how long you've been playing the game, how well you play the game, but rating is not everything. You can have a bad. You've been playing at 1 a.m. in the morning. You've been playing all day. You have subcom just ingrained in your brain at this point. You instantly load a game and you go like tunnel vision, just instantly. There's a lot of factors that go into how you play the game. Is your PC running? Did your power go out a couple of hours ago or 10 minutes ago? Are you frustrated because like there could be a million reasons why you're playing the way you're playing, but blaming your team because you died isn't really that helpful. I mean, again, it's frustrating. I get that, Maverick, but you can't just do what you're doing and like flame. Like, I'm not trying to like call out Maverick, but I'm just saying in general, it's not good to just do this. Snipe ACU, says Maverick. I mean, yeah, there's amount of gunships to go after the comm, which he's going after now, it looks like, but we see that those ASF are moving in to guard the commander of Outreach, and those gunships are going to go for it. ASFs do engage. Unfortunately, this will leave an opening for those ASF. It's not great. Outreach is going to be blitzed down here. There is a couple of mobile units nearby. Outreach is dropping hit points very, very quickly. Those ASFs should have gone after the gunships. It's not great here for Team 1's Outreach. He is going to get killed because of this, and some gunships will die as well. And Team 2 has air control at this point. Actually, air dominance, I would assume, at this point. And those gunships are going to provide dividends here for Team 2's Zelby. Looks like there's a nuke launcher being built here by Team 1's Yzma. It's now a 2v1 game, still in favor of Team 1. And it looks like all white people is being targeted at this point. No laser commandos, no telemaser commanders at this point. Gunships, I don't think will be enough. All white people does have no upgrades, no nothing, no veterancy. And he's going to lose hit points quite quickly here, but he should be fine. He'll probably drop into the mid-yellows. We even see some restorers come in to assist, but that feel like the ASFs from Team 1's all-white people should have gone after the gunships. It might have saved Outreach. It might have. I don't know if it would have, but it didn't help going after the ASF, so I feel like it would have been a little bit better play to go after the gunships at a minimum. But it's now a 2v1. And again, like I said, not trying to call out Maverick, not trying to say, hey, don't be frustrated, don't say, don't venture frustrations or anything, because you have the right to do that. But there is a line, and name calling your teammates definitely crosses that line. So we see a large land army here in the south. One chicken is online for Team 2's Zelby. One monkey is online for Yzma. And there's a lot of Percy's in the mix. Love to see it. Lots of shields. They are the parashield variety. Lots of UEF tech. Not all that Aeon. And this land army is going to blitz everything apart. Gunships are going to do essentially nothing. We have Team 1 artillery in the mix as well. We do see some Auroras, but they're mainly just UEF tech. And that monkey will come in undeterred and kill off that chicken. As long as the land army doesn't push eastward, it should be fine. When the monkey pushes eastward, all the land units go, okay, see you, bye, and leave westwardly. We'll give a little bit more time for Team 2 to rebuild. But Zelby has control of all of the mass income here for his entire side of the map. 722 versus all white people's 655. So now he has most of the mass income for his team, and he's going to pump out air grids. He's going to pump out ASF, pump out land units, pump out everything, going for a crab as we speak. And it's almost half done with that. Teleporter has been started here for, we know that's not going to work. He really needs some vision on that side of the map to know that's not going to work. Yeah, it's not the best idea. Omni is nearby also to detect the cloaking commander if it does pop up. Actually, no, cloaking, it won't work because the teleporter replaces cloaking, so never mind. But it's good to have. I wish it was farther forward, but at least it's good to have. Monkey Lord is in the middle, ripping apart the units, hanging out in the middle. And we do see some comments in chat from Team 1 saying, hey, finish ringing your mexes. Kill the gunship, says MSG. All that sort of thing. So the assisting, the men, the women in the chair from behind the scenes helping out their teammates. Love to see it. Team 1's eco drops significantly probably due to you're going for teleporter. That's going to drop your income quite significantly. You need a lot of power to run that thing. Need a lot of power. He's also building a crab. He's trying to do everything at once, which slows down the production of everything. So it's not the best thing to do, but he is at 80%, so he's almost done. Once that's done, he should be fine. His ego should be right where it should be. Chicken is in defense mode. Second chicken in the yellow. Monkey Lord online, securing the reclaim of the chicken that did pass. T2 has been started. He is going to go for teleporter, and he is probably going to go for... Is he going to go for laser, though, is the question. Because if he goes for laser, it's not going to work. Eye of Ray, please, says OGW. Says, hey, get some intel going on. Nuke is online as well, like we said, and it's half loaded. Team 2 has an SMD, and he's loading it. It's already one SMD is loaded. The Nuke could go after this Seraphim base, could go after this UEF base with a bunch of T3 mechs that are dual ringed. There's a lot of open targets that Nuke can go after. The northern side is starting to collapse for Zelby. I mean, there's only so much APM. There's so many actions per minute he can do. And Subcom Brame is definitely starting to sit in. 35 minutes on the clock. Laser is started, so he is going to go for Telemazer. If he teleports in and tries to go after the comm, he will die. The question is, will he die sooner than killing the comm of Zelby, which I would say no due to the shield. There's a lot of T2 PD here. He really needs a couple of P-gens to be right next to him to really make it worth it. But if he teleports in, that will be a kill for Team 2. Unless he teleports in and goes after other things. And if he does that, that might be more worth it. This base, not the best idea due to the Percy construction. There's a lot of Percys running around. So essentially, this might be the only base the teleporter might work. But there's a lot of PD. There's a lot of TMD everywhere. There's PD down here. He has to be very careful where he teleports in. I don't think he'll go in now. He needs to get vision, get some radar going on to see what's going on that side of the map. Zelby finishes an experimental. What is it? It is the chicken. He's going for... Oh, it's a shield. I thought it was a satellite. Second chicken is online. We do know there's a crab in the north being built. Anti says OGW. He's building an anti right here. And do we see an SMD? Oh, sorry, an SMD. We see a nuke? No. But it's good to build the SMD just in case. So, and that central one will definitely protect most of the front line. But there is no SMD anywhere else. Team 2 could take that advantage and go for nuke. But I don't know. Experimental has been built for Yzma. It's probably a Colossus or a Fat Boy or a Monkey. It's a Monkey. So second Monkey is online. Third Monkey is online, excuse me. And that crab should almost be done. We see the spy planes moving in. Going to see what's on that side of the map. He will notice those triads. So he knows that teleport's not going to work. He will see the comm. The comm is right there. Anti-nuke, don't teleport in. I mean, he could go teleport, kill off the SMD, and then call it a day. He could do that. Just not his air grid. Nuke any of the other bases, not the air grid. So love the comments here from Outbreach saying, hey, by the way, go after this. Don't go after this. It's not going to work. Secondary SMD is online. It was just built. This would be a good target to go after just to kill off the SMD that's being built. A large group of ASFs in the northeast protecting the gunships, going after mass extractors in the north, cutting off Team 1's eco. Team 2 is still behind in that. That's mainly just due to map control. Third Monkey, though. Where's the other Monkey? Oh, there's the Monkey over there. It might be enough to... There's a lot of Percys in here and shields that might be enough to breach the front lines. Lots of PD being built, layering those defenses, getting shields online to protect that PD investment. A lot of AA being built around here for Outreach. We see that crab actually going to be shifting eastward. He's trying to pull the attention away from this land battle that may or may not occur in the south. SMD is loading quite quickly. How's that nuke going? Nuke is about to load, and he is going to nuke this base. That SMD is not going to be built in time. Definitely unfortunate for Team 2. That's going to be a lot of mass income. A lot of defenses are going to fall offline. That might provoke the attack, considering Yzma controls both the nuke and the land army. So he might be launching the nuke. The nuke will land. He'll move the land army in. There it goes. First nuke of the game. How is your nuke loaded, Yzma? And then he goes plus, saying it's launched. So it's like, I hope you beat it. Talking about the SMD. And conversation coming down in chat. Looks like Chicken's like, I'm just going to send the forces, or he's always going to send the forces in. Anyways, getting them out of range of the nuke. They might think that's what he's going for, the land forces, which he could have done, but he's going after the SMD and all the PD, which will slow the approach down after the land army advances, which is better because now the mass from those land armies are over here instead of over here. Kaboom! Doesn't kill off a lot of the PD, kills off all the shields though, which is something. I feel like it would have been a little bit better to go a little bit westward, kill off all the lines of PD. Chickens go back. This is the time to move. There it goes. Those monkeys should have already been moving in to engage. So those chickens would have been further back, not being protected by all those PD. Large group of land units in the north. Bunch of bricks. We see that crab running around as well as a bunch of Team 1 Medusa. And there's a lot of Perseus here to the north. Not really a lot of other units besides a couple of asylums. Not asylums, sorry, parashields. Group of bricks here to the east. Gonna just edge the edge of the map here, trying to take out whatever he can. Distract Team 2 Zelby. You just need more anti-air, says Outreach. And those long-range cannons, they don't do a lot of damage, but again, 1,000 of anything, that kind of thing. You know, the more weapons you add, the more not powerful they are, but they just do more DPS essentially. That air grid is really the only thing that Team 2 has the advantage in. Or not air grid, but air power, and he's not really using it. Team 1's trying to curtail that as much as possible with AA. We see more ASFs being added to the pile, and gunships moving into position. Those monkeys are pushing in. The crabs have fallen back near the PD. The monkeys holding position, not wanting to engage with all those gunships and AA sitting there. Mega is online, being pinged by Chicken. And we see those bricks moving in on the eastern side. We could see a situation in which this crab that was just built by Zelby moving eastward to deal with this. How's that second nuke looking? Thinking for a second. Okay. What is this? Just spam the satellites, I guess. Hopefully you get some shields protecting those, because that'd be a lot of mass invested that doesn't stay online. Air grid artillery has been thought about here for Team 2 Zelby. I mean, like I said, all it's going to take is for the comm of all white people to come in, take out the SMD. The PD, I don't think are in range. They are barely out of range. So you could teleport in right here, kill off the SMD, have your teammate launch the nuke, kill off the air grid. You would probably lose not Yzma, but all white people in the process. But then it'd be a 1v1. And then the air grid would be down. That's a lot of, just everything just gone. Crab is online. 2 chickens as well. Looks like the crab shifted this way. Another crab is being built as we speak. The bricks looks like they did engage and were killed off by something. Probably the crab. We have those monkeys have actually shifted northward, coming to assist the crab. He juked all of the land experimentals, and now the gunships are moving in to go after those experimentals over here to the north. ASF's coming in to shield them. There's not a lot of AA here, so those gunships are going to get a decent amount of value out of them. And there's not a lot of AA on the monkeys, but again, something is better than nothing. ASFs move in or fall back. ASFs from Team 1 need to be here. Yzma has his own. Send in his group of ASFs at a minimum. Pings do go down, say, hey, move them in. Monkey is being blitzed down as fast as it can be. Gunships will take some damage and some losses. And again, there's not a lot of AA in this mix. ASFs instantly evaporate. One monkey will be taken out. Second monkey, not doing great. There's more and more AA being added to the pile. Second crab is coming online. The chickens and the crab retreat to move to the north. The land army is now pushing in. Yzma is essentially fades to the north and moves into the east. The crab goes, oh, they're moving in, I'm going to go back. And the chickens go, oh, yeah, I'm going to move back. But this is only going to prompt the land army to move in. So it's just Yzma trying to just plug as many holes as he can, but just can't because he's dealing with multiple attacks from the front line at the same time. It does look like Yzma holds his forces back. He did the move. He pulls the chickens back. And all this does is, again, pull the chickens to the south. The crab will move in. But the damage is already being done now to the northern side of Zelby's base. Zelby getting, again, that artillery line, reclaims it, goes, that's not really work. That's not really going to work. Is instead going to go for Nova. Actually, no, being pointed out that there's Novaxes. Nuke says, all white people, it's not worth it there. Your units are already there. And he says it's 70%. I mean, yeah, it's going to kill off a decent amount. There is the crab that's being built. I guess it depends if he wins the land engagement. If he loses the land engagement, yeah, go ahead and nuke it. There's no coverage. You'll be fine. But if he wins it, there's no point because he's already killed it off. Now, this is a 70%. It's closer to probably 90% at this point. All Team 1's forces have to do is keep positioning. And if this crab sits right about here with this other crab, it could be a nice little AoE. Not necessarily kill off the crabs for Team 2, but severely damage them. AFF move in to guard the skies above them. There's another crab coming online here for Team 1. The monkey has retreated. It was severely wounded. Lots of bricks in here, lots of Percy's in here. Percy's definitely the better unit to use against experimentals because they blitzed them down a lot quicker than bricks do. Crab is down. We'll kill some nearby friendly units with the crash damage. And that nuke leads the launch right where that crab is sitting right there. Looks like this crab's just going to go full send it. And 1-star veterancy on board that crab. Chicken still holding position in the south. Laser is online here for Team 1, going after everything it can. Start reclaim, says MSG. I mean, you might as well at this point. The only problem is that that nuke comes in and nuke's right there. It kind of goes that operation. Nuke is loaded here for Yzma. If he strikes right here, or right about here, he'll get this crab. He'll severely weaken this crab. And the doors will just be wide open for Team 1 to move in from the north. We're seeing more and more units, more AA being spammed up. Crab got destroyed. There is still a monkey. And all that land has so much mass here. There's so much mass. 119,000. Total mass on the map, 250,000. Enough to build anything in the game. And then some nuke does launch. What is it going for? It's going for this positioning down here. Going to kill off 27 plus, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 35, 70, 140, 175 mass income per second. That is a huge chunk of Team 2. Zelby's eco will drop him below 500 mass. He's going to desperately need the reclaim up here to the north, though, because of that loss. And that attack does go outbound here from Team 1's Yzma. Chicken is a little bit further back from this chicken. There's a lot of Percy's in this mix. That reclaim is your only chance, as MSG. Kaboom! Kills off the mass, drops him to 560. Looks like he's reclaiming, so the numbers are a little off, of course. Monkey is inbound. Oh, it's targeting the wrong crab. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's targeting the wrong crab. Oh, that's disappointing, but these crabs are rooting out those bricks. Move, says Maverick. What do you mean move? Move what? The chickens are actually in perfect position. The units are just going to push in, activate the Ion Storm. The second chicken's going to get hit. It's going to activate its Ion Storm, and it's just going to rip apart this whole land army. So you don't need to move these chickens. There goes the second chicken. Oh, those Percy's just feeling the Ion Storm pain. And PD just essentially going to box these guys in. They are going to start breaking through, but they're going to incur heavy losses. There's not a lot of defenses behind this, so if Team 1's Yzma breaks through, that's going to be very, very bad here for Team 2. They are starting to break through, though. Ion Storm has caused a decent amount of damage, killed off 2,000 mass, killed off 8,000 mass. A lot of these units are severely wounded. The PD are being blitzed down, though. Team 2, that was the southern edge was weaker. That's why the crab went this way. The northern defense is online. Reclaiming efforts are engaged. And what is all white people doing? He's in the pond over there. He has teleported. He has landed and is just hanging out for the time being. Yeah, just keep do damage. You're doing well, says Outreach. Love the support here from Outreach. Gunship, says Maverick. And Zelby has all of his factories paused. He has the artillery online. And those Percy's are just going to continue to move in. PD's being built as quickly as it can be. Fat Boy as well coming online shortly, but it's going to be a couple minutes before that comes online. Stringing these units in one by one isn't going to be enough. He needs to formation move them, get them all together, and move them in as one block. We have some assisting reinforcements from the north. Percy's moving in to assist. We have some ASFs guarding the skies above them. Income dropping to 400. Artillery is online. Don't know what it's targeting on the northern side of the map for Team 1. Looks like it might be going after the nuke, possibly. It strikes a hologram of a satellite. Second satellite is almost done. This nuke needs definitely more shielding. And I think Team 1's goal is just to go after the SMD. That will cement. And I do love this. He splits his units up, either if it was coincidence or accident or both. But because he splits them up, it might be enough to kill off the SMD. This would be, I think, almost the perfect time for the teleportation commander of white people to move in and confirm the SMD kill. You can see the Percys aren't making any ground on the northern side of things. They need to keep moving in. There are PD going to be built. And that shield is going to fall. The SMD is the target. SMD takes a shot, takes another shot. The SMD is down. Mega says Maverick. But the first crab is down. Second one is falling. The Percys accomplish their goal. Zelby moves out of range. Knows what's going to happen. Percy's moving in. Tries to go after the artillery. There's a decent amount more PD down here. They're not going to get that much work done, unfortunately. But the main job is done. The Percys killed off the SMD. And all it now is for that nuke to... Oh, wrong base. The nuke to launch, which is going to take a couple of seconds. The artillery is down, and Team 2's Zelby says, nope, I'm not going to be here for that. Says, see ya, bye. And honestly, I don't know if he should have left then. I feel like he should have left when the nuke launched, because the base, for the most part, for Yzma has been taken out. There's one shield. All it would have taken is one shield to fall down and that PGen to go off and that PGen to go off, and that would have been it for this nuke. But, I mean, it was close to... It's about 90-something... I wish it was percentages. There's probably a mod for it. Let me know down in the comments if you have or you know of a mod that tells me the percentage on the yellow bar instead of just the bar. But there are a couple more artillery shells. This one's going to miss... just barely to the west. This one a little bit more further over to the east. That might be close enough. There's another one outbound a little bit further over to the east, a little more. That might have been enough to kill the nuke. But even if it was enough, Team 1 is winning on the north. They punched through on the south. Team 2 Zelby definitely should have used his air advantage. I mean, he's sitting at 227 with 60 bingo on fuel. He's sitting at almost 300 ASFs with 16 gunships. Not really the big issue. The big issue, though, for him was the amount of losses that would have incurred for him. I mean, sitting at 70 AA emplacements, and then Yzma's sitting at 12. Was there any AA back here? No. So the gunships could have been built up enough to just punch through to go after the nuke. He knew about the nuke for a while, but just decided to hold back and be more turtley, which ended up not really working out for him. But let me know down in the comments what you would have done in Zelby's position at the point that you had control of everything. Because that's really what the turning point was that Maverick died. Team 1 gained a huge advantage with having, again, 3-1, and then it became 2-1. That was definitely the moment I think Zelby should have just hyper-focused on air, maybe gone for artillery even sooner, but definitely used the strap bombers, gunships, whatever he could have used against Team 1. And Team 1, MVP, I think... I mean, there's something to be said about Yzma. Wasn't the best early on. Could have assisted Fervor a little bit better, but came through, held the southwestern side the entire game, did very well on that front, had the push that came in, took out the SMD, essentially forced Zelby to quit. But I think the MVP of the game, again, it's him or it's Outreach. Outreach moving into the north, holding the position, killing off the comm of Maverick. Obviously, Maverick kind of just walked into it pretty much. Didn't know he was there, but essentially just walked into it. You know, that securing of the northern sector definitely set Team 1 up for success as well. But it's definitely split. I think I give Outreach just a little bit more because instead of Maverick just getting annoyed at his team, blaming them, all that, we had Outreach going, well, I died. Now I'm going to assist my teammate, specifically Yzma, but also, of course, white people as well. And that really just set Team Up 1 for success and then just kind of, just went from there. So I think OGWPR Outreach gets the MVP award in my book. Let me know down in the comments if you felt the same way or not. And, of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.